There are two common bullish narratives relating to cassava sciences, which I've seen quoted often. I'd like to discuss these in further detail. These narratives receive a ton of traction, so I'm definitely not cherry picking just to dunk on the bulls. Number 1.
FDA granted SPA to Cassava? They barely give them out. Only like 10 a year are granted. Bullish!
And number 2.
90% of patients that completed Phase 3 entered into open-label extension. If the drug was a scam, they would not sign up for the extension. Bullish!
I was curious whether these were valid and wanted to assess if they were indeed backed up by data and evidence. Naturally, I did some research. I'll be sharing my findings and takeaways in this video. I hope you find it valuable. I like to emphasize I'm bullish on cassava myself. However, in my opinion, it's important to look at things objectively without emotions and biases, which I realize may be challenging given our innate bias due to our position in cassava. I hope you don't take it the wrong way. It's coming from a place of love. Alright, let's get into it. The Special Protocol Assessment is a process in which the sponsors, aka the biotech company, ask to meet with the FDA to reach agreements on the design as well as the size of the clinical trials. An SPA agreement indicates concurrence by FDA with the adequacy and acceptability of specific critical elements of overall protocol design, like entry criteria, dosing information, endpoints, and planned analysis. These elements ensure the trial conducted under SPA are considered adequate and well controlled. It's important to note the existence of SPA agreement does not guarantee success or FDA approval. Basically, to summarize, the FDA says to Cassava,
if XYZ endpoints are met based on ABC criteria, we'll approve your drug.
And Cassava responds with,
"Aight, fam. Bet!"
and they shake on it. Now that we have a little bit of context on what SPAs are, let's have a look at the performance of biotech companies that were granted SPAs in the past to see if there's any patterns or correlations we can take from it. I've removed large companies like AstraZeneca as well as private companies because their price can't be tracked. The objective is simple, to see if there's any correlation we can find between a company being granted SPA and their performance price-wise. First, we have Arca. The price at SPA announcement was 5.7. Current price, 1.7. For NeuroRx, the price at SPA announcement was 10. Current price is 50 cents. For Synexus, the price at SPA announcement was $14. Current price is 1.5. For Outlook, the price at SPA announcement was 25. Current price is 12. For Immune Pharma, the price at SPA announcement was 13 pounds. Current price, 2 pounds. For Iveric, the price at SPA announcement was 10. They were bought out at 40. For Acer, the price at SPA announcement was around $3. The current price is 66 cents. For Iterum, the price at SPA announcement was 3.7. The current price is 1.5. For Aradel, it was acquired by another company in 2023. Yeah, you can see it's not doing too hot. Sparrow, price at SPA announcement was 1.5. Current price is 1.5. And lastly, Regen RX, the price at SPA announcement was 15. The current price is close to 0. So in conclusion, one company out of the 11 ended up green. One stayed flat and the rest took massive haircuts. Like, we're talking pretty much bald. Yeah, it's not great. So what can we take away from this? Yes, on paper, SPA sounds great. And yes, very few are given out by the FDA. However, if we're using this as a bullish point, it needs to be supported and backed up by data. And the data I'm seeing says otherwise. Please let me know if there's anything I missed. Regardless, I think it's an important discussion to have for shareholders and investors. All right, let's move on to the second common bullish narrative I'm seeing, which is that 90% of patients decided to enroll in the extension study. Again, similar to SPAs, at face value, it sounds great. A lot of people decided to voluntarily enroll in the extension, so it must mean that the drug works. Right? I've spent a fair amount of time browsing through the clinical trial website in hopes of finding open label extension data for other Alzheimer's drugs, like those from Lilly and Biogen. Admittedly, this data was not easy to find. Fortunately, I was able to locate the phase 2 open label extension data for lecanemab, which is Biogen's Alzheimer's drug that eventually went on to receive FDA approval. It looks to me like only around 20% of patients decided to continue with open label based on a total of roughly 850 patients and 180 deciding to participate in the extension. Just based on this data, it tells us that using open label extension participation percentage is not a valid argument for efficacy and proof that simufilam works. Let's double click on this and work out the potential explanation for the massive variability in participation percentages between Cassava and Biogen's drug. I'm a big fan of Occam's razor, and in this context, it's a fact that Cassava's drug is proven to be safe. Therefore, I think it's reasonable that Cassava's high open label extension participation is simply the result of patients choosing to stay on because there's no downsides of adverse health complications. So really, they have nothing to lose by participating, in contrast with, say, Biogen's drug, which has the potential for serious health complications.